Just fights, aren't they, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And this one a 5-rounder, so
then his Thai opponent.
Which he wasn't too impressed with.
Mum had a few.
He's got
I don't know where he wants to be at the moment, but
combination.
In this video, we're going to take a look at how Brad Riddell beat Janrob Strongheart in a K1 fight over in Melbourne, Australia, and the Power Play Promotion. So I've nicked this video from Power Play Promotions. You can check them out over on YouTube. They've got loads of good fights over the years on there. So Janrob is a Thai with 200 fights, 140 wins, and 60 losses. And I'm sure he'll still have 60 losses after Brad Riddell beats him, because that's so many fights that they just stop keeping count, basically. It's a rough estimation, I'm sure. Brad's in the 50 fight mark, I think, around here, 50, 60 fights. So Power Play like to put kickboxing main events over 5 3-minute rounds instead of the 3-3s format, which kind of suits the Thai because the bout before a little bit of a slower pace and it allows a bit more time to feel each other out. As a coach, I'm always looking for style matchups and how fighters with a specific style overcome another style, and then I can incorporate those into my own training and help my fighters out. So if they're ever coming up against that type of style, we can take tools and tendencies and methods used from a fighter in the past to help my fighter beat that opponent. I probably said that a bit weird then. So Brad's opting for like a low lead hand, and straight away he's getting that jab going. He just threw a lovely left uppercut there. Really nice stuff. Janrob, traditional Thai style, light on the front foot, and he's using that teep really well. So he's teeping Brad to the leg, and he's just brought up a left roundhouse kick towards the head. Or Brad comes in with a combination there, lands a lovely right hand, and they tie up for a clinch. So Thai style scoring is Muay Thai. In the stadiums, they're looking for the body kicks. They're looking for the knees and the clinch. Obviously, in K1 rules, the elbows are prohibited, so it's a bit harder to keep a boxer off you without the elbows and the clinch. And then the kicks don't get rewarded the same way as they would in a Thai fight. So in a Thai fight, you know, if you're body kicking and kind of skating around the ring, you're going to probably win. It can come across as quite a negative style, like the Muay Thai's like a counter-based style of fighting, similarly to how you'd see a Mayweather in boxing on the back foot and still being able to score a win from there. Accidental low blow from Brad there, we'll just skip past that. So Janrob's happy to be on the back foot, and Brad's just exploited him there for him lifting up that lead leg by kicking underneath it and sweeping his leg out from underneath him after a hands combination, with Janrob expecting there to be a low kick on the end of it. Brad again doing a good job of redirecting that left kick and coming back with a nice counter combination. So really this is becoming a battle of like the left kick and the teep versus the boxing of Riddell. A lot of these Thais, they can come over to K1 for a bit of a payday. Like, he's probably not getting paid the most in the world, a couple of grand, but it's a lot more than he'd be getting paid for Thai boxing, I'm sure, in Thailand. Especially at Janrob's probably towards the tail end of his career. He's had 200 fights. But he's still obviously a very good and determined Thai. He's not going to go away easily. Brad's coming in with a nice combination. Janrob clinches up. The Thais, you know, they're smart fighters. They've had that many fights, they've seen it all, so nothing really throws them off. But they can also get into a bit of a mode where, because they've had so many fights on the tail end of their career, they're not really trying to win as much anymore, or they're definitely not trying to have exchanges and have hard fights. They're just going to come in, take as little damage as possible, and obviously try and win if they can. And unless you're fighting an elite Westerner, most of the Thais, because they've had so much experience, they'll beat a lot of foreigners with this style, with this like body kick and move. Learn how to tie up the boxing and nullifying and frustrating the foreign fighter. You'll see it all the time in Thailand, where the veteran Thai will just school the younger, less experienced but probably more athletic foreigner. Whereas Brad Riddell is in his prime here, he's experienced, he's game, and he's very skilled from an excellent gym in City Kickboxing. So you can just see he's constantly using that lead hand to try and draw the kick out of Janrob, ready to defend it like he just tried to parry there, where Brad can counter. And then if Janrob doesn't take the bait, then Brad puts himself in position to throw like a lead uppercut or a right hand over the top. Lovely body work there. So Brad's a bit faster with his combinations. Janrob's waiting a bit too long. And something that I think Janrob should be doing now is, because Brad's operating with a low lead hand, he should be looking for the right high kick. That would bring Brad Riddell's hand back up, and he wouldn't be as effective with this lead hand play that he's doing right now. Good right body kick there from Janrob. Brad catches it there and deals it pretty comfortably. But if Janrob was to bring that a bit higher, I think it would adjust what Brad's doing. Even if he doesn't knock him out, just the thought of it might make Brad adjust for a little bit. And if he can keep doing it, well, then he might catch Brad as well. Whereas he's kind of a bit gung-ho on this left kick and teep approach. Or got caught with a little combination there into the clinch. Again, Janrob ties up himself off the ropes, back to centre. But I'm sure Brad's going to push him back to the ropes. He's using that lead hand, those hip feints, the shoulder pump and the lead foot pump to try and bait an attack out of Janrob so Brad can then counter him. He's using that jab cleverly. So sometimes he's touching the hands of Janrob and then poking it up the middle of his guard. And because Janrob's using an outstretched guard, he won't punch as effectively from there. You need to have like lowered elbows basically to generate that power in the punches and be a bit faster and sneaky with him. If your hands are this high and your elbows are out, you can't generate too much power in your punches. And it's a bit more telegraphed as well. But at the same time, this double forearms guard blocks a lot of wide shots around the side. Where Brad's trying to take advantage of that is you're a bit open down the middle, so Brad's sneaking jabs through and then coming underneath with the uppercut every now and again. They're clever shots that I'm sure Brad's been drilling in his gym, in his training. Sorry if I talk too fast or too much. I'm just trying to do a lot. So I want you to give the backstory of Brad and maybe the Thai, maybe their thought processes behind what they're doing, as well as obviously watching in the action in the moment what they're doing as well. So Brad just tried to use a left hook there to trap Janrob, maybe walk him onto a right side attack, and then he leant back from the left kick. So he's getting the timing of the left kick now. Lovely hip feint there, but Janrob kind of saw it coming and nullified it with a clinch, smothered the work, so Brad couldn't get anything going. Brad tried to parry there, but Janrob scored with the kick. 3 left side attacks there, so that's another thing where Brad's leveled up. So when he throws the left hook, Janrob's expecting the right side attack, so Brad has an opportunity then to come again with the left side. So he threw it 3 times there. Janrob came in after that with a marching knee, but away. I also like how Brad's attacking the body with the jab. It's not seen as much in striking like Muay Thai and kickboxing, whereas obviously they do it all the time in boxing. That was a lovely knee by Janrob there. He got the timing on that one better as Brad tries to angle off. He threw a right knee. But yeah, like that lead hand stuff is not seen enough. I think it can be done in MMA as well. The jab to the body, it's a great shot. It's very hard to miss the shot, so it's like a high reward, low risk. It's going to get you confidence as well. You're landing something solid. And because Janrob's so upright, his body's going to be really open. So for Brad to go up and then down is a clever tactic from him. There's pros and cons to all the styles. So Janrob's defence serves him well when dealing with kicks. He can block a lot of hooks around the side with this long guard. Being arm on leg, he's ready to block at all times. And it's quite easy to clinch and tie up when your arms are already outstretched. The downside is you're open to the body a lot and you can't punch as effectively. So it's about weighing those things up as the fight progresses. And Janrob's, I don't know what his thought process is. He might be coming in and having problems and think, I can't be asked to get into a war with Brad. Lovely right kick from him there. He should be doing that a bit more though, in my opinion. Brad trying to get off some hands, but Janrob again steps in to smother it. But Janrob, at the end of the day, he's not getting hurt. It might be a bit boring for the fans, but I can appreciate how hard it is to actually sometimes slow down a good fight like Riddell. Riddell's really dangerous. He knocked out or knocked down John Wayne Parr like several times in their bout in cage Muay Thai. So he's not like a knockout merchant, but he's dangerous and he's got a dig on him, especially that left hand. And Janrob's able to like nullify it a lot. He's able to time it and basically prevent it from landing clean. I think Brad's had more success with the right hand, like there, just glancing with the right hand. He's landed the right hand more, but he's not naturally like a powerful right-handed fighter. Even though he's an orthodox fighter, he performs better and probably has the heavier blows with his left hook. Janrob there, little feint in, using that left leg again. Brad comes in, but Janrob ties him up. But Brad throws a little flurry of punches to kind of like ruffle Janrob's feathers. Little hip feint and lead leg feint there. Brad comes in again with the body shots. Notice how Brad's not loading up on anything. Oh, lovely right hand over the top there. Saw the sweat fly off Janrob's head. So Brad's not telegraphing anything. He's not loading up. He's not looking for big shots. As much as many people look at Janrob's style and think, why didn't he just go through him? If Brad walks onto a poorly timed body kick or knee, he's going to get really hurt. And Janrob's kicking hard. I'm sure his knees, you know, Brad's been aware of them. So it's like you can't just rush in and think you can get away with that. And obviously, if you rush in silly, he's just going to tie you up anyway and just hold on to you. So it's about trying to be more intelligent and effective. Lovely teep to the face from Janrob there. Tries to knee on the as Brad steps into the inside, but nothing really comes of it. Brad pummels his arms in. Janrob's getting a warning there. I don't know if he tried an elbow or something. Brad ain't bothered though. That's what I like about Brad. He's just all business, no complaints, no moaning. He's just there for business. He's there to fight. He's a proper sportsman and proper fighter. Changing his look to southpaw there, trying to get a bit of a read, trying to make Janrob make a mistake so he can capitalise. Janrob being crafty, getting out of the way, throws the first right high kick. He needs to do that more. Brad comes back with a nice right hand over the top. Not a big shot, but it gets his range and he comes in for a more significant combination. Can't get anything going though. Janrob now comes in for the clinch. Again, nothing really comes of it. It's a clever stuff, man. It's a chess match. Brad using that right hip feint regularly as well. Little feint into the jab. Brad being aware of the distance there, shuffling back, defensing, looking through his guard. You can see he's watching everything Janrob does. He's never looking away when he's defending himself. He's always aware, and Janrob's pretty much the same. That's why it's hard to hurt someone when they're aware and they're defending correctly. They're not panicked. They've got good composure. Lovely slip and pivot there from Brad, turning the corner. Gets Janrob back into the ropes. Lovely jab up the middle there, catches Janrob clean. He acknowledges it, but back to his game, making himself a tricky and elusive target with the threat of a counter as you step in, an intercepting strike. Brad getting to the leg there, finally managed to land a low kick on the ever light lead leg of Janrob. Janrob changing stance, back to ortho. So really, like, Brad's running away with it. Janrob's landing his body kicks. If it's tie score and Janrob's ahead, weirdly. But K1, you fight K1 rules. You got to know what you're dealing with. You got to know what the scoring criteria is, and you got to get on with it. The same way as I've seen foreign fighters complain in the Thai rules because they're getting body kicked, but they're going forwards the whole time, landing heavy boxing, and they think, well, have I lost? That's just the rules of Muay Thai. When you're dealing with K1, every strike scores pretty much equally, so you've got to be aware of that. You can't just let a guy tee off on you with 4, 5, 6 punches and think a body kick's going to even the playing field. So I was just looking at my battery there, camera's flashing. Always panicked when I'm in a good breakdown, and that starts happening. Good combination of tie up there. Brad pushes him off. That's another thing I like about Riddell. He can be physical sometimes. He can shrug Janrob off with the shoulder, physically push him back, and try to, like, you know, bull his way through the clinch sometimes, which is a good tactic. Comes to the body nice there. Janrob acknowledges it by hitting his own body, saying, like, look, man, you ain't hurting me. But really, that definitely hurt him. He's trying that little Sanchai shuffle step. He's done that a few times throughout the bout to kind of confuse Brad and maybe make Brad predict an incorrect defence, and then Janrob can capitalise on it. But Brad's not taking a bait. He landed a lovely right hand a second ago there. Gets Janrob back in the corner. Janrob crafty with a little poke of the lead hand, I think that was. But he's changing stance now. Lovely left hook lands there. Janrob probably needs to get back to orthodox. I don't think lovely left hook there. Brad's coming on strong, but Janrob knows, he's too experienced, man. He knows how to get through these rounds. Lovely lean back there. Good teep. Lifts the lead leg to fake to stop Brad from stepping back in. Lovely body kick there. Goes for the high kick. But again, he should be going for that right high kick, I think, because Brad's often operating with that low lead hand. So he could be a bit susceptible to that one. It's been a relative easy night's work for Brad. He's took a few shots here, like a teep to the face here and there. But I mean, for the most part, lovely left hook as Janrob steps in. Beautiful timing and perfect technique. If you're a beginner, watch Brad Riddell. He's got textbook technique, especially if you're a smaller fighter for your weight class. Brad kind of shows you how you can manage distance and be effective at range as a smaller man, especially with the jab. You'd think the taller man would have a better jab, but Brad, as a shorter fighter, uses his jab really, really well. But yeah, if you was starting out in the sport, watch someone like Riddell. Lovely technique, throws everything really crisp. It's just nice to watch. You know, he's obviously put in the hours. He's a perfectionist. just seeing out the round now. I think Janrob knows he's lost pretty much. So he's, oh, a lovely high kick attempt there, cheeky. That's the thing, you can't switch off with the Thais. They will pull things out of the bag. And that's what keeps Janrob, you know, having Brad's respect. Like, Brad can't switch off, and he also can't get over eager for the finish. Oh, lovely left hook. That's where Brad would be at his best. If Janrob was willing to exchange a bit more, you'd see Brad probably get a finish. Whereas Janrob's just being cautious and smart, rightfully so, to get through the bout. So that was a pretty comfortable decision for Riddell, and a great way to watch how a Thai style can be defeated within a kickboxing rule set. There's loads of good Thais out there now, like Super Bon. You've got Talent tries to come over to kickboxing, I think, or should be. But yeah, there's some good Thais that can also kickbox. Obviously, Bukaw was the man. He's the man of Muay Thai. In kickboxing, being a two-time K1 max champion. And he presented a lot of problems. They even changed the rules because of Bukaw, because he was dominating the clinch and throwing fighters all over the shop. But it's interesting to watch how a good boxer can nullify a good Thai stylist, especially getting around that left kick as a smaller man. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you'd like me to do this with any other particular fighters, particularly kickboxing, because I won't get taken down for copyright infringement. Pro striking out. I'll catch you later.